Live from WSLS, this is 10 News Virginia Today at 6, working for you.
A review into a local school division finds systemic failures where investigators say school leaders fell short. Gun violence strikes close to home.
When it hits you close, that's when you realize there's a problem.
The local mother telling her story of loss. And millions of students still waiting to hear how much college will cost them this fall. The glitch is keeping some from signing up for classes. Good morning and thanks for waking up with us on this Thursday. I am Daphne Gray. Jenna Zipton has the morning off. Get to meteorologist Chris Michaels again came in with that light jacket today.
Yeah.
Felt good yesterday, though. I will say, when I walked Bo, I love that little breeze that was coming through. So are we going to get that today?
We'll get that little breeze, but we're going to get even more of a warm-up. So we start out with that light jacket that you were talking about. Whitfield at 45, Martinsville 49, Lynchburg at 53. However, we're going to be very hot heading into the afternoon. Part of what's going to relieve that, though, is the fact that the humidity is pretty much a non-issue. And the dew point's in the 40s. There's not much moisture to work with, so it'll at least be somewhat comfortable, even though it'll be pretty hot today. Rocky Mount 87, Daleville 89, Roanoke City at about 90 degrees, with rain chances rising for the weekend. Now, as far as our plans are concerned, hoping we can stand any storms that come our way, but we will work for you to time out that storm system and see what kind of role that has on your plans. It's coming up in just a few minutes right here on Virginia Today and right now on the homepage of WSLS.com.
Police in Salem are investigating a Tuesday night shooting where a man was shot in his arm. Salem police say that it happened on Conhurst Boulevard around 10 p.m. When they arrived, they did not find any evidence of a shooting, but shortly after they got a call about a man with a gunshot wound in his arm on Melrose Avenue. They say that the man was treated and released from the hospital, but so far, no arrest has been made. Anyone with any information is asked to contact police. After two Blacksburg High School students died last November, a months-long investigation found systemic failures within the Montgomery County School Division. That's according to the Montgomery County Public Schools. Now, recommendations are being made as to how they can move forward. The school board appointed the Roanoke law firm Gentry Locke to lead a review of the deaths of two students, Serenity Hawley and her ex-boyfriend, Crony Monk. The Blacksburg High School seniors were found in a car in a parking garage on University City Boulevard. The family of one of the victims told 10 News that it was a murder-suicide. The firm interviewed 23 people within the school and looked at student videos, school policies, student files, and social media accounts. Montgomery County Public Schools have released a public statement regarding the review, saying in part, quote, the report also outlines systemic failures within the school division related to Title IX compliance, the initiation of threat assessments, and compliance with the law enforcement memoranda of understanding. They say that the report made recommendations for additional trainings to address the concerns. The school board is now in the process of evaluating the report and deciding what additional actions need to be taken. We here at WSLS did request a copy of that report, but we were told that it is not available at this time. New numbers from the Commonwealth's Gun Violence Prevention Plan show that murder rates in Virginia dropped 17% from 2022 to 2023. They also fell in Danville by 25% and Lynchburg by 50%. However, Roanoke saw quite a hike with a 56% increase in murders. We spoke with one mom in Roanoke who lost her 16-year-old son to gun violence in 2022. She says change will only come if the people behind Operation Ceasefire treat every case as if it's their own child.
You may get 20 on your desk a day, you may get 2 on your desk a day. Every child, you should look at them as that's your child and work your case accordingly to that. Try and do everything that you possibly can and devote your time. And if you need help, say you need help.
She adds that no arrests were ever made in her son's case and wants much more effort put on prosecution when it comes to Operation Ceasefire. It's been an entire year since 6-year-old Kingston Campbell was shot and killed in Lynchburg, and police are still looking for the people responsible. Video from that night shows 5 people shooting multiple rounds towards Kingston's home. Just last week, Police Chief Ryan Zuderman told 10 News that they believe that the shootings of Kingston Campbell and 16-year-old Terrion Marshall could be connected. However, both crimes remain unsolved. If you have any information about any of these cases, you're asked to contact the Lynchburg Police Department. You can also submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers on our website at WSLS.com. A local teen is recovering after a car crash in Lynchburg. Officers were told the car was speeding, ran off the road, and caught fire in a yard off of Greenview Drive. In total, there were 4 kids in the car. 17-year-old girl was taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries, and then another had a minor injury. One left the scene before officers arrived. We're told charges against the driver are pending. Hundreds of kids will be going to a new school in Franklin County as 2 schools are closing their doors at the end of this school year. 10 News reporter Keisha Lynn working for you with why they're closing and where the students will go. Good morning.
Good morning, Japhanie. It's all because of funding. School board members voted to close Burnt Chimney and Henry Elementary schools after the state cut nearly $4 million in funding from the budget for next school year. Superintendent Kevin Sears says these 2 schools were signaled out because of enrollment numbers. He also says Burnt Chimney would have had to have $4.5 million of improvements done to keep kids there for another 10 to 15 years. Almost 300 students at Burnt Chimney will either attend Dudley, Windy Gap, or Lee Wade Elementaries next year, while the nearly 200 at Henry Elementary will move to Ferrum, Snow Creek, or Sontag. Sears has this message for parents who are concerned about their kids going to another school.
Making this transition as positive as we can for our students. We've had a number of events already. We had an informational night for parents at Burnt Chimney and Henry Elementary schools, and then we had open houses at the receiving schools, and they were very well attended.
Sears also says there are field trips for students to visit their new schools at the end of the month. He also says all of the teachers have been placed at other schools in the division. Tonight, school leaders are inviting anyone who attended Burnt Chimney or Henry Elementary to an open house where they can share their memories of their time there and say goodbye. What one former student has to say about the school closure coming up in the next half hour of Virginia Today. Keisha Lynn, 10 News, working for you.
Thank you, Keisha. Many students will be finalizing their decisions on where to go to college, but glitches in this year's FAFSA have millions of students waiting to hear how much college will cost them this fall. Many schools did not receive student data from the Department of Education until March, and once they did, millions of forms were found to have errors leading to the delay. Situation has some students aid experts worried.
The FAFSA fiasco of this year has been telling them, don't bother applying for financial aid. It's too hard. The system's broken. We really need to start countering that narrative.
She also says that there are concerns that first-generation and low-income students in particular have been too frustrated to finish the FAFSA process. The streamlined FAFSA cuts is questions from a maximum of 108 questions to as few as 18. New job opportunities are coming to Montgomery County. Governor Glenn Youngkin announced a $1.6 million investment by ESS Technologies that will create 27 new jobs. They said that a new 40,000 square foot facility will consolidate its locations in Giles and Montgomery counties to increase production capacity. The company specializes in complete packaging line design and equipment manufacturing. A warning about a popular product in many of our laundry rooms. Procter & Gamble has recalled more than 8 million packages of its popular liquid laundry detergent pods. They say that a bag defect could make the colorful packs accessible to children and others. Consumer Reports says that you should take precautions because these laundry pods are a severe poisoning risk.
According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, some of the flexible, child-resistant bags of Procter & Gamble's liquid laundry detergent pods can split open near the zipper. The recalled products were made between September 2023 and February 2024 and sold as Tide Pods, Gain Flings, Ace Pods, and Ariel Pods. P&G explained, while the product inside remains safe to use, we are voluntarily recalling a limited number of laundry pack bags and providing consumers with a replacement bag. Consumer Reports first warned people about laundry pods' severe dangers over a decade ago.
Every year, poison control centers continue to receive thousands of calls related to laundry pod exposure. And when you look at these laundry pods, they're squishy, they're fun to touch, they're colorful, and look a lot like candy. All of these characteristics make them super attractive to a child, and these pods use highly concentrated detergents, putting children and cognitively impaired adults at serious risk.
As early as 2012, CR called on manufacturers to make detergent pods safer and argued that outer packaging should meet federal standards for child-resistant packaging under the Poison Prevention Packaging Act.
Every manufacturer has a responsibility to use appropriate product packaging to keep kids safe and to ensure its packaging is truly child resistant before it's in the homes of millions of consumers.
In its recall notice, the Consumer Product Safety Commission urges consumers to immediately secure their detergent packages out of children's reach and contact P&G for a refund and replacement child-resistant bag to store the pods. This is David Fazikis.
A recall alert this morning for Virginia shoppers. Over 85,000 pounds of ready-to-eat sliced Stockmeyer prosciutto ham is being recalled because it wasn't inspected properly. So far, there have been no adverse reactions reported, but the USDA did say that you should not eat it. Consumers are advised to either throw it out or return it to the place of purchase. Outside of Virginia, the meat was sold at stores in California, Connecticut, Florida, Illinois, Pennsylvania, Texas, and Washington State. Time now, 6:11. Coming up, college campuses protests continue all across the country. How Congress is now getting involved. A local restaurant under fire after an incident involving a large group with disabilities. The claims both sides are making. That's coming up at 6:45. Plus, confrontational driving at a high on Virginia roads. What to do if you encounter road rage.
And check out the sunrise once again this morning in Wytheville. It is a beauty from the Bowling Wilson Hotel Skycam. If you get a good shot, send it to us through Pin It on our weather app. Meanwhile, temperatures rising. We'll show you how close we get to record highs and when rain could play a role on our weekend plans. Coming up in just a few.